Alright everybody, welcome to my bow build video. I have the Elite Omnia here, and I'm going to be putting the parts from my old bow onto this bow. So I have my black gold sight, 5-pin slider, I think it's the Ascent Verdict Assault. I've got my Q80 rest, nothing fancy, the Ultra Rest HDX. As you can see, I taped the screw onto this. I also taped the screws onto my sight, just didn't want to lose anything. I've got my Carbon Craft stabilizer. I personally have the Dudley Ridden stabilizer, and I think this one does a little bit better of a job of reducing that vibration, making the bow a little quieter. And the tools I'm going to be using are the Bowmatic kind of pocket bow press, and I've got the rest of the Bowmatic kit here. Got my Allen wrenches, and then I have my level kit for my strings. I've got my knife here. I've also got a tape measure and a ruler to measure my peep height, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that in just a bit. Now that I've screwed the rest and the sight on, the next thing I'm going to need to do, some other things I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put this through the bus cable. I'm going to have to set my knock point, tie my D-loop, and put my peep in. Now I don't have a bow press or a bow vise, so I'm going to have to eyeball using the Berger buttonhole, which is pretty common. I've seen quite a few pro shops do that on their YouTube channels and just in person. So we're going to put this up with an arrow in, make sure the arrow is going right through the Berger hole, and then we'll line it up back here. If you don't have the levels that I have, you can also use something that's going to give you a right angle. And Chris B did a video on that, so I'm not going to go into too much detail with that. But that's my plan here. Alright, to get my peep height, I'm going to go for my bottom knocking point, and these are in centimeters up top there, all the way over to the middle of my peep, which, sorry about the glare, is going to be about 14 centimeters and 6 to 7 millimeters. I'll call it 6 millimeters. So I'm just going to write that on my paper right there. So I got things pretty close here. I just loosen up this screw here, and the rest comes with this Allen key. And with this, if I'm laying it flat on the table, as I am here, the arrow is actually going to want to sit not in the center of the rest, so you need to center it where it's going to be sitting when you're going to be shooting. And then if I'm looking straight down on it, it's pretty close. I could maybe come down a hair, but right there, it's really close, so I'm just going to leave it there. I'm pretty happy with that. So, got my arrow lined up where I like it. Got my post-it notes here, no gap, and you're going to see no gap right there. A better tool would be like a T-square, something that's not as pliable as paper, but you can see I've got it pretty close, so now I can tie my knock point right there. This is my makeshift bow holder, so I can tie my D-loop when I tie that in. I actually put a level on this and I got it level, so if I wanted to check my arrow, make sure that it's on there perfectly perpendicular, that would be another way to check it. But you can definitely be creative with what you have to work on your bow at your home. So I got my knock points tied in, bottom and top. I left a little bit of a gap there. This is a 32-inch axle to axle bow, so I know there's going to be a little bit more string pinch, and I'm double checking with the levels that I have, and it looks like first try I got it right. So what Chris B showed in that video definitely works.